Shalom, shalom. First off, we have all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem HaKadosh, Yahweh ben your name, Heavenly Father, Yahushai ben name, His own begotten Son, who the Lord Igli calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honor to our apostles, double honor to our elders, the great millstone, and Tasha truth and will well. And Sight Texas Jehovah Light pushes truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Billy Awasap. Go to listen to the spirit power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It's another in quick transit through the spirit. Just want to speak on this, man. Watching a video that it just pissed me off. You know, somebody declaring themselves as one of the 12, and you know we've got men that have done this over the years. But one thing that they clearly don't read is this precept. This is 2 Corinthians 10 and 12. It says, "For we dare not make ourselves of the number." I'll read that again. It says, "For we dare not make ourselves of the number, or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but they measuring themselves by themselves, and comparing themselves among themselves are not wise." All right. Next verse, it says, "But we will not boast of things without our measure, but according to the measure of those." But according to the measure of the rule which Yahweh hath distributed to us, a measure to reach even to you. So anytime you come across a guy that declares himself one of the 12, you got to compare that statement to this precept right here we see. And this is really common sense. You know, but to speak on it is that the pride and ego, you know, comes before a fall. That's another precept. Pride cometh before a fall. Pride cometh before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Salaki. That's what the precept says. You can look that up, man. You know? And this comes from, you know, just thinking too damn much. Thinking that you're somebody when you don't know. I just know I am this person, you know? Hey. But you got some people that'll say that, oh, you know, I got a dream. But the scriptures also talk about those that dream dreams. You know? And we use that precept to rebuke that whole MLK dream. I had a dream, you know? And that dream turned out to be a nightmare. And he even said it later on. He even said that dream turned out to be a nightmare. He said he feared that he has integrated his people into a burning house. Not every dream you get is from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Sometimes it's Satan trying to trip you up. Which is why you always got to filter everything out with the scriptures. Use the scriptures before you get on video and speak on something. Because you got men out here that is overly contentious, man. And overly bitter. Yet they declaring themselves of the number, declaring themselves as John, declaring themselves as King David. Bug outs. Okay? The scriptures say all our righteousness is as filthy rags. So no matter how long you've been teaching this word by yourself, or whatever your works you've been doing that you so desperately want to be commended for from men, which is also off, by the way. Doing works to be commended from other men is off. You're supposed to do works to serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. Not men pleasers, man. But you got guys that get out here and, you know, which is great to be passionate about this, man. I'm not knocking the passion at all. It's great to be passionate about this. You go out there, highways and hedges, and you preach in season, out of season. You're doing the work of the ministry, you know, showing your body to live in sacrifice. That's fantastic. But they do it for a while, and some guys do it and they're doing it the wrong way. They do it in isolation, and it's self-inflicted isolation. A lot of times they just, you know, just got a very backbiting spirit on them, or argumentative spirit, and they kind of find fault in everything. And that's a spirit I can't stand to be around, man. I had an ex-wife that was like that. It's like every little thing she would find a reason to argue over something out of nothing when a problem never even existed. And she used to be, I knew it was a demon thing on her, because she used to be like talking to herself in the back room or in the kitchen, and she'd be saying shit on her voice. She said, I can hear voices telling me that you're thinking this. Those are demons. And you can't do nothing with guys like that, man. You know, calling themselves, getting on video trying to rebuke somebody because somebody else ain't getting enough likes or views or attention. It sounds like a little baby, bro. And in the same breath and utterance, oh, I know I'm one of the 12. I mean, nigga, who are you? You know, did you not read this precept right here? Explain that. How are you all of a sudden you King David? Are you John? And who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, man, hey, you should be satisfied with making it to the kingdom to be a door greeter, and you should be humble and grateful for that position. But you got some guys that will get in the kingdom, door greeter. I ain't about to do that. Nah, I'm this. You don't even deserve the kingdom. You want to have that mentality. Humble yourself, man. The Lord hates that spirit of pride. Okay? Now you see, brothers, we may get hyped, we may get in the spirit, and we may make statements like, you know, we hope that we are of the elect. You know, brothers have certain experiences, and in the heat of the moment, might say, the Lord is with us. And that's how the mentality you should have. You should have confidence that the Lord is with you, especially when you're doing right. And you're in the midst of prophesying. You know, bros might see, like, you know, chariot sightings and things like that, and it's encouraging. And we may upload it for the camera. It ain't to boast and declare ourselves of that number. It's the passion of being in the presence and the energy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We pray that we are the hopeful elect. You know, brothers of GMS, we make statements like, you know, we have the 100% truth. We believe that in confidence, that that's what we have. And we say that based off of spiritual evidence, that the doctrine has matched what we teach. Prophecies are happening that we've been bringing out over the decades. Okay? Nobody can gainsay or resist. You know? We exhort, we uplift, we edify, we rebuke, and it's all done out of love. But we don't declare ourselves and say, I guarantee. I would never make a video and say, I guarantee I'm of the hopeful elect. Regardless of all the videos testimonies I may have uploaded. Which brothers see a lot of signs, man. We see the number 144 a lot. We see chariots a lot. But that doesn't mean I'm not at one point am I going to say, even in my heart, that I'm of the elect. I hope I am, you know. I'm hopeful. I hope I'm of the elect. And that hope keeps motivation to want to do better in the spirit. Because if you think you already made it, then everything you're doing is perfect and you have no room for improvement or growth. But when you have the mentality that you hope that you are that number, you hope that the Lord doesn't take the spirit off of you. And let's say hypothetically you thought you through the spirit was one of the 12. You should be in the spirit. I hope I'm that, not I am. You know, a lot of brothers through the spirit, we believe that Apostle Tahar probably is Paul through the reincarnation. But you don't see Apostle Tahar getting on a video declaring himself of the 12. You don't see Apostle Gabar getting on video declaring himself of the 12. Yet these men are the leaders of Great Millstone, which Great Millstone teaches the sound doctrine. And they've been enduring that doctrine over the years, man. But yet they still are in the spirit that they hope that they make it. The last thing any brother wants to be is that spirit be put on them of Judas that betrayed Yahushai. And you got a lot of brothers that have embraced that spirit subliminally, unconsciously. They're embracing it. When they make statements like, you know, I know I'm this, I know I'm that, and you're constantly in this bitter spirit. Next thing you know, you making videos addressed to GMS. Dude, you've been on isolation too damn much, man. You know, and that comes from not keeping the scriptures, you know, of exemplifying brotherly love. You choose to be in isolation. You got cats that been offered an invitation, you know, to come fellowship and be around other brothers. Hell, we done got in our vehicles and drove a couple hours to see brothers that, you know, are smaller camps by themselves. But you got some guys, man, you can't win for lose with them. Everything's a fucking problem. You know? And it's highly offensive, especially when you see cats like that. They come on video and they say shit like that. And you got brothers sitting there watching that video and you done forgot about this brother physically opened up his home to you. You sat down at his dinner table. The brother handmade a plate and gave it to you directly. You got brothers that'll put money in your hand directly, and you still find fault with the action of him putting money in your hand. Oh, you shouldn't have gave it to me like this. You should have did this. It was an evil spirit behind it. Yep, I know it was. Got him. Let me make a video talking about it. You know, bitch made ass spirit, bro. The Lord ain't dealing with that Judas ass spirit. Because you had Judas that had that same heart. Judas did. Remember when Yahushua got anointed with the alabaster oil? You remember that? You remember what Judas had to say about it? Oh, we could have sold that oil. That's what he said, man. Look that account up. He was like, oh, that's expensive oil. You know, we could have made some money off of it. They're going to give it to him to anoint on his feet, man. What? That's that bitter black woman spirit, man. We were just talking about it. I just got through, you know, doing a quick sit down with Elder My Lawyer going into that. You know, but I was watching one of Jake's videos, man. Re-watching it. I'm like, man, this dude, this guy he complained about Elder Malcolm blessing him with an offering. And I guess he gave it to him in front of others and you got offended at that? But wait a minute, what about the action that this brother just, you know, he found fault in it. And you can't do nothing with cats like that. You know, if they left eye offendingly, pluck it out. And you got a lot of, this is the year of apostate sellouts and agents. And them apostates is coming out the woodworks like a motherfucker right now, man. The bug outs, man. You know? All enemies are being revealed. And some of you guys don't know, unconsciously, subliminally, or however you want to put it, the name for it, don't know you going off. Don't know to the extent of the offenses that you've done. And think that what you've done and what you said is minute, when it is highly severe. But the angels are taking records and recording it all. So you guys can continue if you want to with the bullshit, but at the end of the day, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to have his way with people like that. If you in that spirit, the Lord going to deal with you. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 11 and 16. But if any man seem to be contentious, we have no such custom, neither the churches of Yahweh. So that argumentative spirit, you a lawyer type spirit, you trying to look for some type of argument for every little thing. You want to defend every single thing that comes out of a man's mouth. And that's that bitch made nigga woman spirit, man. That hateful black woman spirit that nobody likes to be around. You know, the black woman that has like the resting bitch face. Like you're afraid to kind of say anything and even say hi to her. Because she's probably going to roll her eyes at you. That's what a lot of these cats be having, man. That's the type of spirit you be on when brothers is telling you acting like that. We have no such custom. It's not in our custom to be a contentious spirit. When we're out to prophesying at the highways and hedges, that's not out of contention. It's out of rebuke. It's out of austerity. Okay? Because we're dealing with heathen nations. We're in Esau's kingdom right now, Babylon. We got to deal with T-bender genders walking past the camp. You know? Men with boob implants and shit. That's the type of stuff we got to call out. So you see us getting on people, because that's what we got to deal with. Or you got simple jakes, man, that don't want to gravitate towards a word that scoff and scorn. So they got to get rebuked. But you got some men that take that the wrong way and they run with it and think that it's okay to have that, contentious spirit towards brothers and mistake it for austerity when it's not. No, you just got an attitude problem, and you need to check that shit at the door, man. Be a man. Don't be a female dog. Because I want to say, I'm trying to tone down the language, Salakia, man. I'm just vexed. That shit in the video just got me pissed off. But this isn't personal, so I ain't gonna put dude's face on blast. But the Spirit gonna have revealed. He watch it, and either take the rebuke and get correction or not, or continue to go off and be a bitter black woman. You guys, this thing isn't personal, man. Everything is done, to really edify the body and wake up the hopeful elect. We got bigger fish than fry than your attitude problem, or to worry about what you're going to be angry about what another brother's doing. Speaking to cats that want to get on videos messaging up to GMS. And if you've been laboring on your own for all these years, then why stop and change it up to come against the men that you've learned from? Ask yourself that. Because all these points these guys be coming out with, man, they're not valid. They don't stick. And they're not true. Brothers are extremely, brotherly. I had brothers let me borrow his car for almost a whole couple months, man, while I was down out of transportation for a year. Brothers showed up at the hospital, pray for one another. Then I seen Elder Apostle Tahar fly to go pray for one of the other felder elders, man. When brothers is down and barely got anything, brothers offering a lending hand, whatever financial help they need. Hey, we take care of each other over here. Just because you don't see it because you chose to not take the olive branch when it was given to you, that's your own goddamn problem. Because you're so consumed and looking for a reason to argue. You forget that there actually are brothers that love and care about you, man. And that's what that overinflated pride, you thinking you John, you thinking you David, overinflated pride and retardedness that enters to the mind when you get to teaching for a while, but you're not teaching the whole truth. Or you're not doing the things that the Lord told you to do. Hey, check that contentious spirit at the door, man. So, with that, Lord's will, this lesson's edifying. I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone, Tasha's truth and will well. And citation, hopefully that pushes truth and honest sincerity. Shalom.